There is a moment most people know. You walk into a room, stop dead, and your mind goes completely blank. You stood up for a reason. You crossed the house for something, and now there is nothing there. Just the quiet, creeping dread that follows, because somewhere in the back of your head, a question forms that you really don't want to answer. Welcome to O7, the AI Anatomy channel, where we break down what's actually happening inside the human body at the biological level, not the surface level. And here's the question I want you to hold on to until the very end. If you're someone who worries about their memory, that worry itself is a clue. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly what it means. The answer genuinely surprises most people. Brain fog and early dementia produce symptoms that feel almost identical from the inside. The word that slips away mid-sentence, the name you can't quite reach, the appointment you completely forgot. From inside your own head, telling them apart is genuinely hard. But the underlying biology is not subtle once you know where to look, and the difference between them is not a matter of degree. It's a matter of kind. Let's start with brain fog, because this is where most of the good news lives. Brain fog is not a disease. It's a symptom, and it always has an underlying cause. The most common triggers are chronic inflammation, sleep deprivation, hormonal shifts, ongoing stress, and certain medications. What they all share is this: they disrupt how your neurons communicate without killing the cells. Here's what's happening at the biological level. Your brain has immune cells called microglia. Normally, they help maintain neural connections. But when something keeps your body in a state of low-grade chronic inflammation, microglia stay activated and release signaling molecules called cytokines. Those cytokines disrupt dopamine and serotonin production, reduce blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, and impair the synaptic connections between neurons. The result is exactly what you experience as brain fog: slow thinking, poor concentration, memory slips that feel alarming but are functional, not structural. Sleep is one of the most powerful triggers. Lose just 1 to 2 hours per night consistently over weeks, and measurable cognitive impairment sets in. When sleep is disrupted, the brain's glymphatic cleanup system can't do its job, and waste products accumulate and further drag down neuronal function. The most important thing about brain fog is that it's reversible. Restore sleep, reduce inflammation, address the underlying trigger, and your neurons return to normal. No permanent damage. Think of it like a muscle that's too exhausted to contract. The muscle is still there. It's not torn. It just needs recovery. But here's where the path splits, because the biology of actual neurodegeneration looks nothing like this. Dementia is not a worse version of brain fog. It's a fundamentally different process. In Alzheimer's disease, the most common form, the problem isn't that neurons are working poorly, it's that they're dying. The mechanism involves two abnormal proteins that accumulate over decades before any symptoms appear. Amyloid beta forms sticky plaques between neurons. Tau protein forms tangles inside them. When these proteins hit a certain threshold, neurons start dying. And unlike brain fog, that cell death is irreversible. The timeline is striking. Research published in the New England Journal of Medicine tracked biomarker changes over 20 years before people developed clinical symptoms. Amyloid plaques can begin accumulating 2 decades before any memory problems show up. By the time someone notices cognitive symptoms, the process has been building silently for a very long time. Early onset Alzheimer's can strike people in their 30s and 40s, though that's less common. The biological mechanism is the same regardless of when it starts. Brain fog is neurons working poorly. Dementia is neurons dying. One is a temporary functional impairment. The other is progressive structural damage. That single distinction drives everything: how each condition behaves, how it's treated, and most importantly, how you can tell them apart. So here's the practical framework neurologists actually use. The first and most important pattern is your awareness of your own memory slips. In brain fog, you notice them and you worry about them. In early dementia, people often lose awareness of their deficits, a phenomenon called anosognosia. If you're concerned about your memory, that concern itself points toward brain fog rather than dementia. The second pattern is what type of memory is affected. Brain fog primarily hits prospective memory, remembering to do things in the future. Forgetting to pick something up, missing a task, losing track of plans. Dementia typically affects episodic memory first, meaning you forget events that actually happened. Asking the same question multiple times. Losing track of recent conversations entirely. The third pattern is daily functioning. With brain fog, familiar tasks stay intact. In early dementia, automatic tasks start to break down, getting lost on a route you've driven 100 times. Forgetting how to use the coffee machine you've owned for years. The fourth pattern is progression. Brain fog fluctuates, some days sharper, some days worse. Dementia is steadily progressive, month after month. If you look back over 6 months and see a clear downward trajectory, that warrants medical attention. The fifth pattern involves language. Brain fog causes occasional word-finding difficulty. In dementia, vocabulary shrinks, sentences simplify, and speech gradually empties of meaning. Spatial orientation goes too. Familiar places start to feel unfamiliar. Here's what you can do right now. Start with the highest leverage reversible causes. Sleep is the single biggest intervention. Most adults need 7 to 9 hours. Inflammation is the second target. Regular physical activity, whole foods, and managing chronic stress all measurably reduce systemic inflammation. These aren't soft suggestions. They're the most evidence-backed ways to protect your cognitive future. Track your patterns rather than fixating on single moments. A brief note at the end of each day, how your memory felt, whether your thinking was sharp or slow, gives you actual data. Patterns over weeks reveal far more than any single forgotten word ever could. And know when to seek medical evaluation. Progressive decline in daily tasks, losing awareness of your own memory slips, a consistent downward trend over 6 months or more, bring a log to your doctor. A proper evaluation can identify reversible causes, rule out conditions like depression that can genuinely mimic dementia, and begin the monitoring that early diagnosis makes possible. Now, the answer to the question from the beginning. If you're someone who worries about your memory slips, that worry is actually meaningful data. Anosognosia, the loss of awareness of your own deficits, is a hallmark of early dementia. The fact that you notice, that you're concerned, that you're paying attention, that pattern points toward brain fog far more than it points toward neurodegeneration. It's not a guarantee, but it matters more than most people realize. Now you know the biological difference between neurons working poorly and neurons dying, and you know the 5 patterns that tell them apart. Most cognitive slips in middle age are brain fog. They're reversible, and they respond when you treat the underlying cause. What's one pattern from today that made you see your own memory slips differently? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. And if you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe to 07, the AI Anatomy channel. This is what we do here.